Okay, this is Maelle's tutorial fight. We're going to be going over her skills and what they do and her stances and stuff like that, and how to tell what stance she's in and what stance a skill will put her in, and extra benefits if you're coming from a specific stance and that kind of thing. First thing, before you leave the manor, interact with the flag with her so that you can upgrade her attributes, because she'll have 15 points just hanging out, and so don't forget to spend them before you leave. This is an optional fight. If you can avoid it if you want, as far as I can tell. But I did train it. So I'm assuming if you say not right now, you can just avoid it. But this time I have backup.
All right, all right.
And this is so this will go over all of her stuff. And it will also introduce you to the jump attack. Cannot be parried or dodged. We're going to jump as a team with on PlayStation X.
Take cover.
Press X to jump. And then if you jump at the right time, the game will flash R2 for you, just like it is right now. And we can counter him.
Let us stain them.
Okay, so since we're just going to be focusing on Maelle, I'm just going to do straight up attacks for everybody else. Okay, so Maelle's stances. Maelle's skills change her battle stance. Defensive stance takes less damage and gains 1 AP per parry or dodge. And they're blue. On the skill sets, you'll see blue markers. You know where Lune's stains are in those colors? Maelle has the same sort of thing, but it shows her stances and the colors for those instead. Offensive stance deals more damage but takes increased damage, and Virtuose stance deals a lot more damage. We won't be going over any Virtuose stuff because she doesn't currently start with any default skills that are Virtuose stance. So we're really going to be just talking about defensive and offensive. Switching to a new stance also provides Maelle with 1 AP. Learn to switch between stances without interruption to maximize her skill effects. So we can see over on her person in the bottom right how it currently says stanceless. That's because we haven't cast a skill that will change that. But we will. So her starting skills are Offensive Switch, Spark, and Perce. So over in the AP cost for each skill, where the 1, 5, and the 3 are, you can also see in the white boxes the red and the blue. The Offensive Switch switches Maelle to the offensive stance, which even on my TV, I can't tell what that is, like a red hammer or something like that. I don't know exactly what that is. But anyway, that's the red. I just personally go by color. It's just red is offense stance, and then Perce and Spark you can see are both blue. So we're going to use Offensive Switch to switch her from stanceless into offensive stance. We're going to deal low single target damage and apply a defensive debuff for 3 turns. Okay, so that's applied defenseless, where he'll take 25% more damage now. And you can see on the bottom right, jump. You can see on the bottom right now that Maelle's has offensive stance written by her name. So that's how you know going into her next turn what she's currently in. Because some skills have added benefits if you're coming from a specific stance. But we'll see that when it's her turn again. Just quickly get back to Maelle. And jump. R2. Okay. So now, she is currently in offensive stance, where she deals more damage, but she also takes more damage. At the end of the turn, whatever skill we choose to use, or if we don't use a skill and we just straight up attack, it'll revert her back to stanceless. If we use a skill, though, it'll move her into whatever stance that skill is. So at the end of the turn, she'll revert to stanceless unless she uses a skill that switches her to a different stance or uses her base attack. we're going to cast a skill that switches Maelle to defensive, from offensive to defensive. And we're going to use Spark to do that, because Spark has an additional effect where it applies 2 additional burns if we're coming from offensive and using this skill. After we cast Spark, Maelle will switch to defensive stance. So Spark deals low single target fire damage on 1 hit, and it'll apply 3 burn. If we're coming from the offensive stance, which we are, it'll apply an additional 2 burns. So we're going to choose this one. Well, and because the game wants us to choose it. Now, she has like a... I'm still getting used to that QTE, but at any rate... That's a new QTE for me, so I'm still getting used to that one, but so there you go. So there's Maelle's fight, and a starter look at her starting skills. I plan, until I learn differently or get another skill point for her so I can get another skill, I'll probably be doing exactly what the game taught us, because that other skill, the per se one, does appear to have a benefit if you're coming from the virtuose stance, but Spark has that extra benefit of coming from offensive. So until I get to know her better and get more skills for her, I'll probably be working on focusing just on offensive switch to Spark, but we'll see how that goes. So at any rate, there's Maelle and her tutorial fight.